Instructions for the Membership Recruitment Acceptance Binding Agreement, that is the MRABA. Congratulations. Later today, you will have completed the College Panhellenic primary recruitment process on WKU's campus. At this time, you will be reading, initialing, signing, and emailing a completed Membership Recruitment Acceptance Binding Agreement, and that's what we call the MRABA, or you may have heard some people call it MRABA, and that is necessary to receive an invitation of membership, which is a bid, to a Panhellenic sorority. Please listen carefully as we review this agreement together and consider the following points before you complete the MRABA. I am here to explain on this video the MRABA and the steps for submitting the agreement. I cannot assist you in your sorority selection. If you need various time or advice or things like that, you will be able to call me. And I will submit this in an email, and it will have my phone number, and you can call that phone number to call, and either myself or another professional staff member will help counsel you through this process. First, the introduction where you agree to the binding contract. I think I literally just read that. I think that's what MPC wants us to say. We'll cut that part out.
Okay.
Cut that part out.
Cut.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is a binding contract with the National Panhellenic Conference. You are choosing to complete this form because you participated in the primary recruitment process referred through this MRABA simply as recruitment. Part 1, withdrawing or continuing in recruitment. In this section, and this is in Part 1, this is what you will have. We'll show it right here. Part 1, this is what Part 1 looks like. Awesome. You may choose to withdraw from recruitment at this time or to continue in recruitment. If you choose to withdraw from recruitment, that means you will not join a sorority now, but you could join a sorority in the future by participating in continuous open bidding process. These future opportunities are not guaranteed and may not be available for all sororities on WKU's campus. If you would like to withdraw from recruitment, what you would do is initial your name on the line and move directly to Part 5, which is later on in this on that document. If you choose to participate in recruitment and move forward with that, you will initial the section and move forward to Part 2. So again, in this, if you want to withdraw, which means you would not be part of the sorority recruitment process, you would initial there and move on to Part 5. If you want to continue, you would initial there and move on to the next step. Part 2, understanding of the ranking process. In this section, you agree that each of the following statements is true. First, you are willing to accept a bid from any sorority you list on this agreement. You will rank each sorority in order of your preference for receiving a bid, putting your first choice first. By writing down the name of a sorority at this time, you are agreeing to receive a bid from that sorority. This means you agree that if one of the sororities on your list, and regardless if they are the first preference or second preference, extends you a bid, you are willing to accept it. Writing down a second preference, and that's for those that do have two parties on preference, it does not increase your likelihood of membership into your first preference. If you attended a sorority's preference event and you will not accept a bid from that sorority, you do not have to rank that sorority. You do not have to list all the sororities that are your remaining choices. If you are certain that you will not accept a bid from your remaining choices, you may choose to leave that sorority off your list. One thing to consider is limiting your choices will neither increase nor decrease your chances of receiving a bid to your first rank selection. You understand that if you choose to rank fewer sororities than 2, you might not receive a bid through recruitment. And this is where, and this is off script, this is where you hear throughout the week people say, maximize your options, maximize your options. So on preference day, which is today, if you go to 2 groups and you list 2 groups, you will get a bid from one of those sororities. Maybe your first choice, maybe your second choice, because you maximized your options. If on preference you only attend one party and you put down that one party, you will have maximized your options. You went to one and you put the maximum options down. You would get a bid as well. That's how we do it at WKU. Understanding, this is part 3, understanding the effect of submitting an MRABA. After emailing this form, and the way I'm doing this is I am emailing you all this form in a Word document. You will email this form back to me. My email is Andrew, ANDREW, .rash.rash@wku.edu. And again, I'm emailing that to you so you have my email. You'll email back the filled out MRABA back to me. But after you email the MRABA, you cannot change your rankings. You cannot add or delete sororities to your rankings. Once you send it, it cannot be changed. If you do not receive a bid from a sorority you ranked, you understand that you are eligible to join a sorority later through the COB, continuous open bidding process. You understand that not all sororities will recruit through COB. Some will this semester and some will next semester, but not all. And again, we do not know which sororities will do COB at this point or not. If you do receive a bid from a sorority you ranked, but you choose not to accept that bid, you understand that you are not eligible to join any other sorority on this campus until the start of the next primary membership recruitment process, which is typically always held in the fall. You will not be eligible to participate in COB, continuous open bidding, if this opportunity is available. So here's the big thing. If you put a group down on that MRABA, you are basically stating, I'm willing to accept a bid from that group. Because if you get a bid from that group that you wrote down and you don't accept it, you cannot go through recruitment and you cannot sign with any NPC chapter until the next recruitment process, which would be next fall. Part 4, ranking your preferences. And I'll show you part 4 here. This will be important. Part 4, you're going to fill this out. You see where it has first preference and then second preference, and it says if applicable. If you had 2 parties, again, we recommend that you maximize your options and put 2 down. That, of course, is not required. If you only went to 1 party, you would only have the ability to put down 1 preference, and that's why the second preference says if applicable. Part 4, ranking your preferences. In this section, please rank each sorority you are willing to receive a bid in preference order. Important thing to know, you only have the ability to rank a sorority whose preference event you attended. So if you did not attend that sorority's preference, you cannot rank them and you will not get a bid from that sorority. Only those groups whose preference parties you attended. You should only rank a sorority you are willing to join. Again, we recommend everybody maximize their options and put multiple down if they do go to 2 parties. But again, you should only rank it if you're willing to join that sorority. If you will not accept a bid from that sorority, you should not rank that sorority. Part 5, signing the contract. And it's right here. Again, because this is going to be sent electronically, you can type that in, or again, you can, if you want to sign it and scan it, that's fine. Part 5, signing the contract. In this section, you agree that you have read and understood the MRABA. So watch this video. If you need to watch it multiple times, that's fine. And if you need to understand something, let us know. Again, my phone number will be on there, and myself or other professional staff can counsel you if you need that. By signing or submitting this MRABA, you agree to be bound by its terms. One thing that is important to know, you are also stating on this agreement that you have never been initiated into another NPC sorority. You understand that if you join an NPC sorority and choose to become an initiated member of that sorority, you cannot join another NPC member organization regardless of circumstances. And before you submit this binding agreement, please stop and ask any questions that you may have. You should not sign this binding agreement if you have questions or need further explanations on any of the items listed. You are agreeing to a binding contract. Once signed, you are agreeing that you understand each of the items listed. So again, this is all about the MRABA. I am emailing this out and sending it to all of you. You have to fill it out and send it back to us in order to receive a bid. And again, if you have questions, please give a call. My phone number will be in the email. But this is something that has to be filled out in order for you to receive a bid. Thanks so much. Go Tops.